All right, so the next thing that we are doing is adding and subtracting rational functions within uncommon denominator. Okay, so the previous video we did common denominators, which means our denominators were already the same. This time they are not the same, so we have to make them the same. So our first step is to write them using a common denominator. And then once you have a common denominator, you add or subtract the numerators and then simplify using the same processes from the previous video. All right, so our first example, we have 15 over 2x minus 16 over 3x. So we need to find a common denominator with 2x and 3x. And that common denominator is going to be 6x because you can just multiply this one by 3 to get 6 and this one by 2 to get 6. But remember, with a fraction, you have to multiply the numerators and the denominators. So we're going to multiply this by 2 over 2. And we're going to multiply this one by 3 over 3. So this 3 times 15 is 45. So we have 45, and then 3 times 2x is 6x, then minus. And then 16 times 2 is 32. So we have 32 over 6x. And now we're going to subtract these. So we have 45 minus 32. So we have 13 over 6x. And these do not simplify because 13 is a prime number. So this is our final answer. Going to number 2. So we have 4a over a squared minus 7 over 8a. So looking at this, we can make the a squared, the a over here into a squared by multiplying this one by a over a. And then this one we can make 8a squared, which is going to be what this is going to be if we multiply this by 8 over 8. So this one we're going to multiply 8 over 8, this one a over a. So 8 times 4a, we have 32a over, and then 8 times a squared is 8a squared, and then minus, and 7 times a is 7a over 8a squared. And now we're just going to subtract them. So we have 32a minus 7a, which is 25a over 8a squared. And then we can simplify this because there's an a in both the numerator and the denominator. So remember, just a is a to the first power. So 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So we have 25a to the negative first power over 8. But remember, we can't keep a negative exponent. So the negative exponent means it flips places in our fraction. So the a is going to end up in the denominator. So our final answer is 25 over 8a. Because you cannot simplify 25 and 8. They do not have any common factors to simplify. All right, so for number 3, we have k squared plus 16 over 5k minus 10 minus 4 over k minus 2. So we have to find a common denominator between 5k minus 10 and k minus 2. Well, if you look, if we multiply this k minus 2 by 5, it's going to get you the 5k and the 10. So our common denominator is 5k minus 10. So we're going to multiply just this second fraction by 5 over 5. So k squared plus 16 over 5k minus 10 is going to stay. And then we have minus, and then 4 times 5 is 20. Then k minus 2 times 5 is going to be 5k minus 10. And now we're going to subtract. So there's not another k squared to subtract from, so keep this k squared. And then 16 minus 20 is negative 4, so we're going to make that minus 4 over 5k minus 10. All right, we can simplify this. It doesn't look like it. We can right now, but it's possible. So k squared minus 4 is the difference of two squares. So we're going to factor that into k minus 2 and k plus 2. Then that 5 that we multiplied by up here, we're actually going to take that, factor that back out. So we have 5 times, and then if you divide 5k by 5, you just get k. And then negative 10 divided by 5 is minus 2. So we have 5 times k minus 2. And now we have a common expression in both the numerator and the denominator. So remember, those are going to cancel. So our final answer is k plus 2 over 5. That is our answer. All right. So for number 4, we have 7 over y plus 8 plus 35 over y squared plus 11y plus 24. So in order to determine what our common denominator is going to be, we actually have to factor this first. So the factors of 24 that equal 11 are 8 and 3. So I'm just going to write this underneath here. So we have y plus 8 and y plus 3. So that's what that is going to be factored. And now if you look, we have the y plus 8 over here, but we need the y plus 3. So we're actually going to multiply this by y plus 3 over y plus 3. So 7 times y is 7y. 7 times 3 is 21. And just leave this as the factored expression y plus 3 and y plus 8. And then plus 35 over y plus 3 and y plus 8. And yeah, I know the order is different up here, but it does not matter when you're multiplying sets of parentheses. You can switch their order. So now we're going to add these. So we have 7y, because there isn't another y in the numerators, plus, and then we're going to add 21 and 35. So we get 7y plus 56 all over the y plus 3 and y plus 8. And we are not done yet, because 7y plus 56 have a common factor of 7. So we're going to factor out that 7. So 7y divided by 7 is just y. 56 divided by 7 is 8. So we're going to add the 8. And then just rewrite y plus 3 over y plus 8. And look, we have a y plus 8 in both the numerator and the denominator, so those are going to go away. So our final answer is just 7 over y plus 3. And there we go. Okay, so once again, we're going to factor what's in this denominator first. So the factors of 6 get us 5 and are both positive, because if you look, they both have to be positive. We can't have subtraction in this problem. So that set of factors is 2 and 3. So we have x plus 2 and x plus 3. Now if you look over here, we have x plus 2, but we don't have the x plus 3. So we're going to add it, multiply by the x plus 3, so that we have both sets of parentheses. So x plus 3, and then we have to multiply the numerator as well. So leave this first fraction the same. So leave it as x squared minus 5 over x plus 2 and x plus 3. Then plus, and then 1 times x plus 3 is just x plus 3. And then we have x plus 2 and x plus 3. And now we just add. So there's no other x squared, so it's just going to stay x squared. There's no other x term in the numerator, so we're going to just plus x. Then negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2. And then over x plus 2 and x plus 3. All right, we are not done, because we can simplify this more. If this is able to be factored, then factor it. So the factors of 2 that are going to get us 1 are 2 and 1. So this becomes x plus 2 times x minus 1 over x plus 2 times x plus 3. And then we have x plus 2 in both the numerator and the denominator, so those cancel, and our final answer is x minus 1 over x plus 3. And there we go. All right, our next problem. We have m squared plus 5m plus 6 over m squared minus 4 plus 2 over m minus 2. So go ahead and factor this denominator first. It's the difference of two squares. So to factor the difference of two squares, it's just the square root of each term. So we have m and 2 and m and 2, and then one is plus and one is minus. So over here in our denominator, we have the m minus 2, so we need the m plus 2. So we're going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by m plus 2. And then just keep this the same. So we have m squared plus 5m plus 6 over m plus 2 and m minus 2 plus, and then distribute this. So 2m plus 4 over m plus 2, m minus 2. And now add what you can in the numerator. So the m squared doesn't change. 5m plus 2m is 7m. And then 6 plus 4 is 10 over m plus 2 and m minus 2. Now factor your numerator. So the factors of 10 that are going to get us 7 are 5 and 2. So we have m plus 5 and m plus 2 over m plus 2 and m minus 2. And then once again, we have an m plus 2 in both the numerator and the denominator, so those are going to cancel. So our final answer is m plus 5 over m minus 2. And that's our answer. All right, the next problem. We have 5 over w plus 1 plus 8 over w minus 7. Now, if you look, there's not enough stuff in either denominator to turn w plus 1 into this denominator or to turn w minus 7 into w plus 1. So when you do that, you're just going to multiply by the opposite denominator. So this one gets multiplied by w plus 1. This one is going to get multiplied by w minus 7. And we'll go from there. So distribute those. So we have 5w minus 35 over w minus 7 and w plus 1. And leave those in their parentheses. Don't worry about that now. And then distribute this. So we have 8w plus 8 over w minus 7 and w plus 1. And then add what you can. So 5w plus 8w is 13w. And negative 35 plus 8 is negative 27 over w minus 7 and w plus 1. Now, if you look at this 13 and 27 have absolutely nothing in common because 13 is a prime number. And this is it. We're done. Can't go any further with that one. So we're going to leave it the way it is. All right, number 8. So once again, there's not a way to multiply to make a common denominator. So you're just going to multiply by the opposite. So this one you're going to multiply by b over b. And this one you are going to multiply by b plus 3. So b times b is b squared. And then just leave this as b times b plus 3. Then minus, and then distribute the 4. So we have 4b plus 12 over b plus 3. All right, so now this minus applies to both of these things. So we have b squared, and then essentially 0 minus 4b. So we have negative 4b, and then 0 minus 12, which is this negative 12, all over b and b plus 3. And now everybody's favorite thing, we're going to factor the numerator. So the factors of 12 that can get us 4 are 6 and 2. So we have b minus 6 and b plus 2 all over b and b plus 3. Just double checking. Thought that was going to simplify more, but it doesn't. And so this is our answer. That is the final. And to the last one. So we have 2 over 4p minus 20 plus p minus 6 over p squared minus 8p plus 15. So for this one, we're actually going to factor out the 4 here. So we're going to make this 4 and then p minus 5 and then factor this one. So the factors of 15 to get negative 8 are 5 and 3. So we have p minus 5, p minus 3. So this one is missing the p minus 3. So we're going to multiply by p minus 3 over p minus 3. And this one is missing the 4. So we're multiplying this by 4 over 4. So 2, if you distribute it in there, is 2p minus 6 over 4p minus 5 and p minus 3 plus, and then distribute the 4 into here, 4p minus 24 over 4 times p minus 5 and p minus 3. Now add what you can. So 2p plus 4p is 6p, and negative 6 plus negative 24 is negative 30, all over 4 times p minus 5 times p minus 3. And now you're going to factor out the common factor in this numerator. So that common factor is 6. So 6p divided by 6 is p. 30 divided by 6 is 5. So we have p minus 5 all over 4 times p minus 5 times p minus 3. And you're going to simplify what you can. So the p minus 5s, there's one in the numerator and the denominator. So those are going to go away. And then we can simplify 6 over 4 to 3 halves, and then we still have the p minus 3. So all of that simplifies to 3 over 2 times p minus 3. And that is all of our examples.